Hello, Snakes. My name is Dante, and today it's Podcast Tuesday once again. And I'm still in Liverpool, so this podcast is a recorded podcast, of course. And um, today I'll be talking about treasure artifacts. Last week they talked about trinkets. Now, treasures are basically artifacts that are 6 mana or greater. So we first got a combo, then I'll explain you why it's called treasure, and then let's go into the treasures. So start our combo, and we got Moss Pit Skeleton, Insidious Root, Painter Servant, choose blue, and Sage Road Denizen. So you choose blue, Painter Servant. Now you basically now what happens is if Moss Pit Skeleton, so you put in so as Painter Servant enters, choose a color, choose blue. So triggers Sage Road Denizen ETB. You have Moss Pit Skeleton in the graveyard. Well, you have to start this by putting a +1/+1 counter on every creatures, or remove a creature from your graveyard. So you put a +1 counter, then Moss Pit Skeleton will get sent to the top of your library. That triggers Insidious Root, which creates a 0/1 plant, and then grow all your plants. So you mill. So with Sage's Road Denizen, you can mill yourself so that Moss Pit Skeleton goes back to the graveyard, and since the creatures get a counter afterwards, um, then it'll just that's basically an infinite. So you self mill infinite plans based on the amount of cards in the library, and well, no, you can do it infinitely, actually. So yeah, and then you get and your infinite plans, infinite counters on them. So you just it's a self mill combo, and if you pull up a fast Oracle, you win. So because then if you have something that gives the plants haste, that's also a win. Um, but yeah, basically that's our combo. It's another Sage Rodazin combo. Let's go to our treasure. So we got Treasure Mage, a free mana 2/2 human wizard. Which any ETBs, you may search your library for an artifact of MV 6 or greater, and you uh, you can put in your hand. So uh, unlike Trinket Mage, Treasure Mage was actually never printed as a common, believe it or not. I mean, uh, it's um, it's basically one of these. It's some of those it's one of those mages. So I mean, Trinket Mage for 1 or less, Treasure Mage is 6 or greater. There's also trophies which are free mana, and there's another one which is for 2 mana. I mean, because Trophy Mage searches for one for those that are exactly free mana. Oh, so Tribute Mage is 2 mana. It's 2 mana artifacts. Trophy Mage is free mana. That's Trophy Mage was from a revolt, and believe it or not, Elves vs Inventors had Trophy Mage, Trinket Mage, and Treasure Mage. Trinket Mage is a common, but Treasure Mage and Trophy Mage are uncommons. There's Trove Mage, which is a arena card in Alchemy Dominaria. to get an artifact from the top 10. And well, Tribute Mage is gets you for 2 mana. So it's Modern Horizons card, OG Modern Horizons. Came back as a time shift as well in Modern Horizons 2, as a Modern Horizons 1 time shift. Also, the list is much more expensive. Wow. But yeah, that's basically treasure. Let's go to our number 10. And we got Dark Steel Forge, a 9 mana artifact that makes your artifacts indestructible, even the Dark Steel Forge. So this is so basically makes everything Dark Steel, because Dark Steel is basically indestructible. So Dark Steel Forge, you, uh, you give all your artifacts indestructible. Well, there's Dark Steel Axe, which is indestructible. Dark Steel Brute, which is indestructible. Dark Steel Citadel, the original indestructible artifact land. Dark Steel Colossus, which also has its Fire Steel counterpart. Blight Steel Colossus, which has Infect. Dark Steel Hydra, an Alchemy Fire Steel card. And that's actually Fire Steel, so I don't know why it's not Blight Steel Hydra. It's literally Dark Steel Garrison, a Future Sight card. That's basically a fortification that Darksteel Garrison itself isn't indestructible, but the fortified land is. Dark, uh, Darksteel Gargoyle, also indestructible. Darksteel Ingot, which Darksteel Ingot now gets outclassed by this one card from the Zendikar Rising. Darksteel Juggernaut as well, and Darksteel Monolith as well, which Darksteel Mutation. The mutation itself isn't indestructible, but it turns something into an indestructible insect. The Darksteel Reactor is indestructible as well. Literally, you win after 20 turns unless you can, duplicate the charge counters, and it becomes even quicker. Darksteel Pendant, uh, an indestructible artifact that lets you scry. Darksteel Plate, which is an indestructible artifact that the equipped creature becomes indestructible too. Not like Darksteel Axe. Darksteel Mirror is basically a free mana Darksteel mutation. Darksteel Relic literally is an indestructible 0 mana artifact that literally does nothing than just be indestructible. Darksteel Sentinel as well. And, well, Darksteel Splicer, creates a golem, and whenever you get fire Xians and makes your golems indestructible. So yeah. Let's go to our number 9. And we got Sunding Titan. Very popular in Tron decks, allowing you to blow up lands. So when it ETBs or LTBs, 8 mana 7 choose a land of each basic land type, then destroy those lands. So domain decks fear discard. Domain decks don't really exist much, but when you have more colors, or friggin' Drive Leasing Grove, it just blows up. It just can blow up everything and anything. Basic lands as well. The only thing that's safe is untyped non-basic lands that um which this deck has. Wastes are safe from the Sundering Titan, but Sundering Titan is just broken. Uh, you could just pull it out with Karn and just start being down your because you just destroy their mana, and you just continue being them down, and then once it's down, it will break their mana once again. So once they actually kill the Sundering Titan, they'll be delayed even more. So it buys you time to bring in your alternate, which is the next one that's going to pull up. It's debatable if the next card is better than Sundering Titan or not, but I'll leave it up to you guys. Cityscape Leveler. Cityscape Leveler is an 8 mana 8/8 construct artifact creature. With trample, when you cast a spell, whenever it attacks, destroy target non-land permanent, and its controller gets a tapped power stone. The best part about this is that with Karn, they can't use their power stones for mana. You just destroy them, and then that's it. They just have a vanilla artifact. Like, yeah, that's basically what it is. It's really cool. And also, once it dies, it can come back for 8 mana to kill one more thing and dish out 8 more damage. It's really powerful. I mean, it's played also in Tron, and well, it's Cityscape Leveler is also one of those artifacts you can pull out of your sideboard alongside Sunding Titan. It's really cool. It's played in Tron basically, and let's go to our number 7, and we got a Chroma's Memorial, just a straight up good card in Commander and Arena as well. I mean, it's a Chroma's Memorial is a 7 mana legendary artifact that gives all your creatures a Chroma's abilities. So a Chroma having, it's flying, first strike, visions, trample, haste, and pro black, pro red. I mean, well, that's of course the original Chroma, because a Chroma had a Planar Chaos version in which she was red and had uncounterable, flying, trample, pro white, pro blue, but none of the other keywords. There's just, but still, just nothing else really. I mean, just, but yeah, that's just and but yeah, so yeah, that's basically a Chroma Memorial. It's just it just gives your creatures the same keywords as Chroma, like flying, first strike. Yeah, all, I mean the original ones. So yeah, let's go to our number 7. It sits, and it is we got Torrential Gear, a 6 mana 5/6 construct with artifact user construct. Flash. When ETBs, flashback an instant for free. And so yeah, this card it was formerly played in standard when it came. A few modern decks had this, but Pioneer is when you could play when it was played with in is it creativity, not normal. I mean, there are some normal creativities that had a that had a Tratza, but there are other ones that play with Torrential Gear Hulk and flashing back some spells. Because there's this one, there's this one card that for 2 mana you could cycle it. Treasure cycle. It wasn't cycle. You just discard to get treasure. So basically, treasure cycling. It was an instant actually, a 7 mana instant. And then when you creativity on that artifact, you bring in Torrential Gear Hulk that lets you flash it back, and you get elementals, damage. Really cool. I actually liked that combo. So yeah, it was actually a cool deck. But so yeah, I mean, there's the other Gear Hulks. Not all of them qualify as treasure artifacts, but most of them were good. I mean, yeah. Let's go to our number 5, where we got Femil, the Inner Sun, a very powerful standard and commander card. 6 mana legendary artifact. Your spells are uncounterable, and at the beginning of your end step, discover 5. So literally pretty good because it stops your spell from being countered, like completely. And then it um it lets you you start casting spells that are like 5 mana or less from your library. And if you don't cast them, you can put them in your hand. I mean, it's really cool. So yeah, that's basically our number 5. Let's go to our number 4, where we got Parhelion Mark II. 8 mana 5/5 legendary artifact vehicle with flying first strike vigilance. When it attacks, create 2/4/4 angels with flying and vigilance that are attacking. And crew 4, key card for Greasefang decks that existed in Pioneer and initially in Modern, but which also, and this card alongside Greasefang carried my Twitch channel last year. I mean, when I was able to make it to affiliate right before my 18th birthday. No joke. I mean, I was like once I finished my foundation year of university, I started like streaming Pioneer Leagues, practicing for Athens, for Leo, and well, I didn't actually end up qualifying, but I did get some wins, got some views. I mean, it was fun. I managed to get myself to affiliate. I mean, that's when Reyes rated me for the first time, uh, which his raid got me to affiliate, and well, and then I started, and then I started, I mean, so I started getting ad revenue and stuff. It was fun. Then, I mean, then once university started all over again, my stream schedule wasn't as active as before, but now it's more active than ever. I mean, I'm streaming consistently. Like, I mean, I've been streaming League, but now I'm playing actual tournaments, streaming even longer, getting more revenue. Reyes rated me again, so yeah, I'd like to thank Reyes. So for the 2 times he rated my channel with a bunch of viewers. So let's go to our number 3, and we got Worm Coil Engine. 6 mana, 6/6 artifact creature worm. Death touch lifelink. When it dies, splits into 2, being a free worm death touch and free worm lifelink. So very powerful artifacts played in Tron. I mean, Eldrazi Tron also plays it to pick it up with Karn, but OG Tron had like a whole playset in the main deck. You just or 3 and 1 sideboard. I mean, you just beat down the opponent and with it, and when it because they have to kill it 3 times. Once as the Worm Core engine, and 2 as the uncoiled worms. The Death Touch and Lifelink worms. So, oh, I forgot to mention it's a Fire Artisan worm. So yeah, there's there's also another one. I think it was wait uh worm coil worm coil larva. So it's a new one from MH3. It's a 5 mana free. It's for 5 mana, half of the fire of the worm coil engine, but you need 2 black, 3 and 2 black for half the fires. I mean, for 1 more mana, you can legit get the worm coil engine. This is like, and the worst part is, it's not even a common. It's a friggin' on. They had to make it an uncommon, so they don't put it in pauper, man. I mean, I hope they reprint this in a master set as a common, and then that actually might have some usability. But it's friggin' uncommon, man. It's just so much worse than Worm Coil Engine. For five mana, I'd rather wait one more turn. I mean, get 6 mana and play the Worm Coil Engine without even needing the colors. It's double, and the tokens are double because when it dies, it turns into 1/2. It gets a 1/2 death touch and 2/1 lifelink. It's just good and sealed and nothing else. No joke. So that's Worm Coil Engine. Let's go to number two. We got banned in modern due to breaking the game with friggin' Karn the Great Creator. 6 mana artifact that turns everything into an artifact and stuff that aren't on the battlefield into colorless. Mana can be spent as any color. Here's the issue. Once everything becomes an artifact, with Karn, you can disable your opponent's artifact. Everything from activating, like lands, nothing else can just activate. I mean, it's just so with pair this with Karn, it is just one-sided, um, a one-sided Stony Silence. So you just with Mikus and Flatus, I mean, they literally have no counter to it. I mean, the only way they can stop this was with a Force of Vigor or randomly generating mana. Uh, but the thing is that the random mana generations, like for example, um, uh, think of like um, Simian Spirit Guide, then it got banned. Well, I mean, it got banned after Mix and Flash got banned, but still, I mean, Force of Negation, no, not Force of Vigor. I mean, was what you could destroy 2 artifacts. So you could destroy Mix and Flash and the Karn together, because Karn actually returns to being an artifact once Mix and Flash. And even if you don't get anything to beat down the opponent, you could with Karn turn Mickelson Flash into a creature and start beating down the opponent with the Mickelson Flash. And, well, um, yeah, basically, that's what Mickelson Flash do. It's just turns everything into an art. And once I actually uh, decked out the opponent with a friggin' Stony Silence. Like, I had Stony Silence out because we're playing Tron to disable their artifact, to disable his artifact. And then bro actually did Karn, pulled out Mickens and Flash, and I friggin' locked the game. So since I had more cards in my library, I ended up winning. So yeah, I literally so technically I decked him out with his. He decked himself out basically, locked himself. Let's go to our number one, the key vintage card, and we got mentioned this earlier in the podcast. Light Steel Colossus. Just one more mana than Dark Steel Colossus gets 11. So this is 12 mana, so being 11 mana. 11/11 artifact creature golem with trample. Infect indestructible. And shuffles back into library if it hits the graveyard. Dark Steel Colossus, well, basically, it's much inferior to Light Steel Colossus. Because Dark Steel Colossus, well, it's 1 mana cheaper. It's 11 mana. 11/11 trample indestructible. That that goes back to the to the library if it hits the graveyard. So yeah, and but then Blight Steel Claws is just the upgraded version. Played in Vintage, sometimes Commander. So I mean, well, it's played. I mean, it's playable in Modern. I mean, I don't see why no one plays Blight Steel Claws in Modern. I think it's viable. I mean, through the breach, you could one shot the opponent with poison. So and and not just that. I mean, Legacy as well. I mean, you go so. But yeah, it's played in Vintage. Played in Vintage with Tinker, and also Commander as well. It's just a win con. That's basically our number one. So congratulations. you've reached the end of the podcast. So why don't you like and subscribe? If you haven't already, follow my Twitch channel. If you haven't already, share friends. Stay tuned to our next videos, streams, and podcasts. Next podcast will be live. So yeah, please stay tuned to watch my other videos too. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and bye.